I'm not the wolf of Wall Street. I'm just a bull that's balls deep. And every opportunity for improvement I see before me. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast. My name's Harley Neville.
And I'm Guy Pigden.
That was Dan Bull from his song Sell Out.
Never heard of him.
No, he's a YouTuber. He's a YouTube rapper who makes a living from playing video games, writing rap songs, and doing stand-up comedy.
Sounds like the dream, doesn't it?
It does, so that's why I like him. And he's got a song called Sell Out, and it's all about how he doesn't give a shit if people think he's a sellout. He's doing it. He's living his dream.
Because he's making money off all you fools.
Yeah. Although he says that he doesn't tell fibs for money, as in he doesn't endorse stuff he doesn't actually like.
Fair enough.
Like I would.
Like you do.
Nah, that's not true. I said no, as you might recall. I said no to KFC and McDonald's and Burger King. Despite the thousands of dollars offered to me by powerful people, I said no thank you to that 1 in 100 chance of actually landing the ad.
Because it was an audition. They weren't actually offering you that money.
No, which I would have taken, obviously, if that just offered me the ad.
But you said no to the audition.
But I said no to the audition. And that's the principle that counts. It's the principle.
So you may be able to hear if you're listening via the
Anywhere.
MP3 that I've got a bit of a cold, quite a bad cold, a little bit stuffy, and I've been kind of sick. And whenever I'm sick, my eating goes downhill. It goes right downhill. I just craving carbs. Whenever I get sick, just craving carbs, like craving pizza.
Yeah.
Always with the pizza. So anyway, last night, I was sitting in my bed. I was like, man, I'm really feeling quite sick. I'm really kind of hungry. I don't want to have any of my healthy food that I've got. I think I'll get a pizza. So I looked on Uber Eats. I was like, too expensive. Can't really afford that. So I looked at Dominoes and I was like, $5. That's right up my alley. Thank you very much. Can't go wrong with a deep dish pepperoni value pizza.
Oh my gosh.
Can't really beat that. So I was like, cool. So I tried to order it online. And anytime I'd order it, it would come up as $17.99 for the $5 pizza. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I can only assume that we're adding on some money for delivery.
Makes sense. It's normally $6.
But they were adding on an exorbitant amount for a terrible pizza. So I was like, look, I'm lazy and I'm sick, but I cannot justify paying like essentially 3 times the amount for this terrible pizza.
And those pizzas are really shit.
They're not good.
They're really bad. They make you feel like crap afterwards.
But the pepperoni one is quite tasty.
Right.
Excuse me, sip on a beer. So anyway, so I decided to drag myself out of bed and drive down to get a pizza. Drove down to Kingsland, which is, again, completely walkable distance.
Spent $12 on parking. Picked up your $5 pizza.
It gets worse than that, mate. Gets far worse than that. So as I was pulling in to the car park, the Dominoes pizza car park, which is very narrow, I was maybe not paying attention enough.
Too sick.
I was sick.
Too sick to pay attention.
Run down. And to be honest, I was looking at a car on my right.
Don't sick and drive.
I was looking at a car on my right-hand side, which looked like it was going to pull out. And so I was kind of looking at that as I was turning into my car park. I was aware that this car park was very narrow, so I didn't want to sideswipe the guy next to me. So I was kind of trying to give a bit of distance for that. And as I did all of that, I drove straight in to the Dominoes car park, the Dominoes door to Dominoes.
You tried to do a smash and grab on Dominoes.
I drove into the door, and I didn't drive into the door like the door was closed and I'm a retard, and I just drove into the building.
Yeah.
The door was propped open and a sort of diagonal sticking out.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't really clock it.
Yeah.
And because I was sort of slightly distracted with this other stuff. So I drove right into the corner of the door, and I didn't do a huge amount of damage to my car, but that door was fucked.
Did it like smash glass everywhere?
So it didn't smash glass everywhere, but it did put like a gash in the bottom of the glass. Now, again, that's better than completely smashing it, sort of.
Well, it's not.
Because you still have to replace the whole pane.
The pane, exactly.
So I did that, and I also busted the hinge at the top.
Yeah.
Which means they couldn't close it.
Did you bust the nut at the bottom?
I wish I busted a nut at the bottom.
Oh.
So anyway, I busted the hinge at the top. I kind of messed up the door, and I was just in a complete moment of devastation.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I just drove to get this $5 fucking pizza, and it's going to cost me $1,000. This $5 pizza
have you had some sort of quote?
It's going to cost me $1,000. Well, my excess for my insurance is $1,000.
Right.
Now, it is possible that
it'll be less.
Repairing the door will be slightly less than that.
Yeah.
But it won't be much. Replacing the panel of glass will be $500.
Probably, yeah.
The call out for the guy after hours to fix that hinge so they could close the door to shut it. You do the math.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not going to be good when that bill arrives.
No, it's not going to be good. So that was my weekend. That's what happened with me. And
man, some guys just can't catch a break, eh?
I was really pretty down about that one because I was just getting on top, of financial things, feeling pretty good, got some money coming in, got a very expensive girlfriend, but got enough money to help her out where I can. And then suddenly a fucking $1,000, and all for a shitty, terrible pizza that was just going to make me fatter. Yeah. So, through the rest of the night, my pizza farts served as a constant reminder of both my fatness and my folly.
Deep. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't smell those.
Well,
you still got the pizza, obviously. You're like, well, I'm here now.
I did.
You're like, hey guys, I'm here. Sorry about the door.
I did.
I'll take a pepperoni.
I was literally like, they took my details, and I was like, well, what am I going to do?
Did they give you a free one?
No, I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to not get the pizza now that I've just cost myself $1,000.
Well, you'd almost go like, oh, fuck it, I'm going next door to the neighborhood and getting a nice pizza because, I'm fucked anyway.
I was just like, Luke, just give me the $5 fucking pizza. I've done it. It's all done. What's done cannot be undone.
Yeah.
So very depressed. I'm down on my luck.
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
Well, if any of the listeners would like to support Guy in his time of need, go to patreon.com/pigville and you can become a Patreon supporter. Or if you're on the live stream, there's a link down below called Show Us Your Tips. You can make a donation there for the Guy Pigden Pizza Hut door fund.
So there was
Dominoes door fund.
There was just so many variables where I could have just because I was tempted to just go, no, I'll just go to sleep and not get this pizza.
Yeah.
I was like,
I thought you were like, I'll just go to sleep and not pay for this door.
And I was like, well, you know what? If I was really thinking, I probably could have reversed straight out and left before they took my details.
You'd be a wanted man. Plus, they probably do have cameras around the car park because it's the car park next to a bar as well. So I really doubt. I'm very, very doubtful of your chances of actually escaping that one.
You never know.
But you might. My best sort of, if you were trying to weasel your way out of it, I reckon your best bet is to go, well, hold up a fucking second. Dominoes or the company that owns Dominoes, why is your door poking out into the car park? Excuse me, this is very dangerous, and frankly, you're lucky I'm not charging you for the damage to my car. Try that.
Interesting option.
Yeah. Sometimes attack is the best defense. Offense is the best defense.
Yeah. The best defense is a good offense.
That's what I said.
Yeah, so I'm a bit dark on that one at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happened. Followed by many pizza farts.
Yeah, well,
following on from that incident.
Yeah, constant reminder. Well, speaking of eating badly, I've been eating very shitly as well since leaving my salary position. Since Operation Go Pro was initiated, I have been eating shitly and exercising more. I'm still working off my winter weight, winter 2015. is a tough one. Is it dad
There
joke
it
number
is.
one?
There it is.
And
Thank you.
dad joke possibly dad joke number 2 if you count that other one. No, I've been eating like shit, and I'm like the heaviest I've been for ages. So
that's cool.
So that's good. We're both fat pieces of shit.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, I also, just things are going well for me, okay? So, a couple of days ago, one of my hard drives just died. Just completely gave up the ghost. I just turned it on, and I was like, that's weird. It's not showing up. Sometimes that happens. If you restart it, it'll be fine. Restarted it a few times. Didn't happen. I was like, okay, that's weird. Maybe I'll put it in my old computer and fire it up from there. No, did not fire up. And
the only thing that fired up was your temper.
Exactly. And what I found is that I lost 4 terabytes of important footage because I did not back up, because I'm too poor to have a backup of my 4 terabyte hard drive, because then I have to buy 2 4 terabyte hard drives.
Have you identified anything more of what we've lost?
Well, I have identified one thing, which is, unfortunately, so I shot a music video 2 years ago.
A music video which Guy and I fought about in the Great Debate episode of the podcast. You go back and listen to that.
Which still has not been finished. And really the reason why it hasn't been finished is because I'm too busy to finish it. And now I've got an editor on board who's sort of like, I'll have a look at that for you. Ben Fowler, the man.
Ben Fowler is the man. 5150 listener.
Who is already helping us out with another project, which we'll get to in a second.
Yep.
But so he's like, yeah, man, sounds cool. Like, flick it through to me. And I was like, sweet. So I went to flick it through to him, and I was like, doesn't appear to be here to flick through. So I sort of fired up the backups of that. So I do have it backed up, but I don't. So essentially, you create what's known as proxy files, which you edit off, which are basically slightly lower quality versions that don't crash your editing machine every time you cut with them. And it took about 3 or 4 days to create proxy files for this particular project, because this particular project was shot in very high definition photo sequences, which are incredibly time consuming. So what I've found is, like, I was cool, I'll just hand it over to him. No, I won't hand it over to him. I've got to remake those fucking proxy files and then remake the directories of how they were so that everything relinks, and it's going to take a long time. And
but you do have the original.
I do
job
have
file,
the originals.
So the editors, but also the original file, like the original, I forget what you call it, like job file.
The project file.
Project file, yeah, you still have that, right?
Yes.
So you can, when you do connect everything up, your old edit still exists.
Yes, it can be done.
All right.
But
so all's well that ends well.
Just another fucking hurdle to getting something done.
Yeah.
I also just say that just a tip for indie filmmakers out there.
Mm-hmm.
So we are filming some pickups for Immi The Vegan on Tuesday. Just getting a bunch of bridging things, and I went to a location to ask their permission to film there. Very easy sort of thing. It was like, hey, we just want to shoot some exterior shots of your building. We don't want to go inside. We don't want to film anybody. We don't want to disrupt your business. We want to film a couple of outside and then film a guy walking into your building. Good promotion.
One of your members. He's one of the library members too, the guy that's going to be walking into the building.
We're both members
Yeah.
of that library.
Never get anything out. But
I was going to leave it ambiguous of where we were going, but okay.
Oh, sorry.
We've kind of, at least we haven't said which library.
No.
So anyway, they were very skeptical of the whole thing. They were like, well, you've got to get this permission form, and then it's got to be signed off by the big head of the libraries of Auckland.
Yeah.
And I was like, my heart was singing. I was like, look, I think you're kind of sort of misunderstanding, what this is. Like, this isn't like a big crew. It's just one person, one camera, and one guy walking in. And they were like, yeah, but, what are you going to do, like, for parking? And I was like, Well, we'll park on the
We'll
other
just-
side of the
we'll just
street.
Come in one car and park on the other side of the
We'll,
street.
we'll probably do absolutely zero to your freaking car park. We won't park there. And they're like, oh, yeah, but what are you going to do when people come in? And I was like, well, we'll stop filming and wait for them to pass. They were very worried about everything.
Yeah.
They're very anti everything. So I was like, okay, cool. So I took that permission, rolled it up in a ball, turned that son of a bitch sideways, and stuck it straight up her candy ass. And instead of trying to jump through all those hoops, I drove down there at 7 a.m. in the morning when they're closed and filmed all the exteriors that we needed to.
Well, it's good that you confessed to that crime on the internet. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. Well, the 5150 won't rat us out.
I don't think so.
Nah.
Also,
They're all on our side.
it reminds me of that time that older we had a similar situation. We were like, can we film this building?
Yeah.
We just want to film in the car park. We're not going to go in. We're not going to do anything. And they're like, no, absolutely not. And we're like, cool, thank you very much. And we stepped 2 meters outside to the street and filmed their
anyway.
fucking building.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, might still be illegal.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But, that's the thing is like, sometimes the rigmarole of trying to do it the
By the
right
book.
way, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not worth it. Sometimes it is, but a lot of the time it's not.
Yeah.
Because whenever you say film and filmmaking, people think you're like a giant crew of 30 rolling up in a truck and disrupting things. And then even when you sort of kind of convince them that you're this very small scale, for some reason they don't compute. Okay, very small scale, like no money. What they compute is very small scale. Exactly the same amount of money if it was a giant truck and being all disruptive. So give us all that money. Very difficult being a low-budget filmmaker sometimes.
Hey, tell me about it.
It's very difficult being a low-budget filmmaker sometimes.
So, I got a very sweet message from a listener.
Okay.
This is from Bevan, 5150 listener.
Yep.
He said, hey, buddy, Irene and I were walking down the street yesterday in Bali, and we saw a T-shirt with the slogan, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. And we both thought of you. Anyway, just letting you know we're thinking about you. So that's good. That's good. That's obviously what they think of me.
Yeah. You'd whore yourself out
For $20.
$20.
Which I would. If you guys just put $20 on Patreon, I'll do anything. Now, I've got a new job. I am the guest and event coordinator at Show Me Shorts Film Festival. And I don't normally like talking about where I work and what jobs I'm doing and stuff, because the problem is then suddenly you're accountable for everything you say publicly. If you publicly say where you work and then you publicly say something stupid, well, then your workplace can obviously take issue with that.
Yeah, my workplace would certainly take some issues.
Oh, you would be so fired. This is why I never say anything.
Yeah.
But in this particular case, it's going to be taking up a lot of my time over the next few weeks. And it's a real awesome opportunity to work with, movers and shakers within the New Zealand short film scene. And it's New Zealand's biggest and best and possibly only Academy Award accredited short film festival. And so it's a great opportunity. And so that's pretty exciting. So, and also it's kind of a real job title, guest and event coordinator. So the other day I got an email from somebody. I actually emailed this fella saying, like he's one of the filmmakers, and I sort of had to organise for him to be at this event and stuff like that. And then he replied to me and he goes, because I said, hi, I'm Harley Neville, blah, 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 a bunch of boring work stuff. And then he goes, haha, thanks, Harley. Looking forward to meeting you at the talk. My friend and I have listened to a few of your podcasts and watched a really funny YouTube episode of yours a couple of years ago. Golfing Handicaps, The Project, Episode 3. That ending, the whole wanking thing, made me laugh till I cried. Just rewatched it now and tears have come to my eyes. Still just as funny. Cheers, Kieran. So shout out to Kieran, who is a new listener.
Shout out, Kieran.
And a watcher.
Super formal, super professional. You email him, but he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh man,
Yeah,
I loved the
that
wanking.
wanking.
Brilliant,
It's that dick,
masterpiece."
it's that dick from the internet. It's like that's obviously he saw my name and knew it from the project. That's pretty awesome. The funny thing is that in that episode I do say my full name, and so do you.
Yeah.
So that probably is part of it. But yeah, so we left on a bit of a cliffhanger last week, which was that guy we were sitting at the pub having a Pigville Productions meeting, because that's where we have our Pigville Productions meeting.
Yeah.
Very serious talk, and we were midway through some very intense negotiations.
Yeah.
About the future of Pigville, the 5-year plan, the plan of attack. And then this guy comes up and he looks at Guy and he goes, "Hey, that mullet could do with a bit of a trim, eh? Hey?" And a guy was just like staring at him like he was an idiot. And he had also come along at such a bad time. Perhaps if it was like a more light conversation, it would have been okay. And then he goes, "Yeah, the beard. You got a bit of a Wolverine thing going on there." And we were just staring at him like, what the fuck? And at first I thought he must know Guy or something like that. So I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, sure. But then I looked over and I saw Guy's face.
Stony.
Yeah.
Stony.
like
cold.
Fucking all puckered up like a sphincter, and so I was like, ooh, okay. And I was like, and then he looks to me and he goes, "You know what I'm talking about, right?" And I was like, no, not really. Do you always go around harassing strangers about their hair? And then he goes, "No. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry." And then he walked away, head down, and went to the toilet.
And walked away.
Feeling like a total knob.
And then, just as a sidebar, you didn't see this, but he came back. And when he came back...
I knew when he went past.
He came back, but he opened his mouth like he wanted to say like an additional, like, look, I don't normally do this. It's just that your mullet was kind of funny and I thought we would all be joking and it would be some banter and have some laughs. But he just opened it. He was like... And he again saw my stony expression and he just...
Face like a sack of screwdrivers.
And he just... closed his mouth and kept walking. Right now.
I actually felt quite sorry for him, to be honest.
I didn't really feel sorry for him because I was annoyed at the time, and this was just further annoying me. So
yeah, it was definitely annoying, and it was bad timing. It was such bad timing. But I felt bad for him because at least he was like he realized he had just completely fucked up.
Social faux pas.
Yeah, exactly. And probably in his mind he didn't really. He had a couple of beers and you think, I'm one of the boys. Oh, look, it's the boys. They're having a chat. I'll have a chat to the boys.
It's the mullet guy. He'll be a laugh. He'll be up for a laugh. Yeah, he'll love a laugh.
He'll love comments about his mullet. He must get like literally all day, every day.
He'll love a bit of banter. He looks up for some banter. I was not up for any banter. So speaking of my mullet, or more specifically my facial hair, I am going to have a shave tomorrow.
The hell for?
Well, because
you're going to look really gross with a mullet and no beard.
Well, that's what I'm going for, I guess.
Okay, why? What's bringing that on?
So basically I have 3 weeks off wrestling.
Yeah.
Then this is the first time I've had 3 weeks off wrestling.
Yeah.
In over a year, probably.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that I will be able to not have this facial hair.
Yeah.
I have been committed to this facial hair for a year and a half. I have been invested. I am so deep into this character of Alex Savage that I've said, this is what I look like now forever, or until I retire. But this opportunity has come up where it's like, okay, like I've got 3 weeks off. And to be honest, I probably still wouldn't do anything, but we are doing these pickups. And I've already been semi-visible in another scene.
So you're keeping the option open.
So what I'm thinking is I'm not going to use that other scene, but, you may see me in the background with these chops and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my look a little bit because I can, and I may as well.
You should put the mullet up in a man bun. For the character. The character should definitely have his mullet in a man bun.
Well, yeah. I mean, it would be more of a ponytail than
Well, that's okay. That's still funny.
So that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, if you want to see me, if you want to see what my face again, it's coming out. It's coming out for a one-time only appearance in what could be another few years, for all we know. So that's happening, and I'm going to be playing quite a funny cameo, which I'm quite looking forward to, of a crazy hot dog guy. Crazy hot dog vendor.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining a guy, kind of a real weird guy out of like Twin Peaks or something that that your character stumbles across.
Okay.
Great little moment.
Yep.
Great little Pigville moment, Pigville interaction there.
Do I have any lines?
No, you just look at me funny.
Okay, good. Don't need to learn those lines then.
No, you don't need to learn any lines. You just give a weirdo, like who the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
Kind of look. Pull a classic funny Harley funny facial. Classic Harley funny big facial.
This is just my fucking face. I don't even pull big facials. It's just my face.
Like a fucking like one of the bushwhackers.
Yeah.
One of your reactions. What? And I'll cut to that.
Okay, good.
And that's going to be the scene.
Yeah. All right. All right, good. Yeah, I often get told, you pull these funny facials. Can you play it straight? Can you play it straight?
You try to play it straight.
I am playing it fucking straight.
I'm stone cold serious, mate.
This is just my face. So I've started watching Ozark after many years of wanting to. After hearing about it during the days of Breaking Bad, and it's the poor man's Breaking Bad, absolutely, but it's pretty good. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but I have again heard that it is quite good.
Well, it is good. In other news, I got interviewed on Sunday, which is a TV show here, like a current affairs style TV show. And it was pretty random. I was walking down in the street in the CBD, and I saw somebody filming, and I was like, right, whatever's, because I had some time off, and so I was like, well, whatever they're doing, I need to be involved with it. So I walked over there.
I need to interject myself annoyingly into whatever they're doing.
No, I need to seize this opportunity for publicity, to get the Pigville brand out there. And so what I did was I wandered up and I said, hey, so what you filming? And they were asking for vox pops, which is where you just ask random strangers on the street like a question about something or whatever their opinions are on something, and then they cut it together, and you often see it on the news, that type of like random Bob says this, Jack thinks that, Jane says this, and so anyway they go cool, so they roll the cameras and they go, right, so do you know the name Michael Caine? And I was like, obviously, everyone knows Michael Caine, right? But they were saying that apparently most New Zealanders don't know who Michael Caine is.
Fucking idiots.
You imbeciles.
Fucking boobs.
I did find that quite shocking, because she said that most people were like, no, who's that? And that her plan was to cut together a montage of people saying, no, 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 no. But I was straight in there. I was balls deep in that soundbash. I was like, they go, so who is Michael Caine? And I go, he's a Korean War veteran who also does some acting. Famous English actor as well.
He was in the Korean War for like a year.
Yeah. He's had a career
he's also acted for 50 years. But I'll go back to the Korean
thing. Yeah. Well, he has killed people, has Michael Caine. Oh, Michael Caine.
Yeah.
He has. He says in his book that he set up a machine gun on a hill, and that a swarm of Chinese communists came running up his hill, and that his job was to pull the trigger and shoot into this horde of people. So he's actually killed a lot of people, his old Michael Caine.
Yeah.
So
interesting fact, he also got malaria from that stint in Korea. Was it actually in Korea?
Yeah, South Korea versus North. It was the Korean War, South versus North. He was with the South.
So he got malaria, and at the time they were like, there's no cure, you're just going to feel terrible all the time and barely be able to move or do anything. And then they're like, actually, we've just invented this new drug where you can take it and it will cure you, but for 2 weeks you have to lie completely still, and if you move too much you'll knock yourself out. Ooh. Something to do with the blood pressure or something of taking this thing. And so he took this thing, knocked himself out a few times, and was completely cured.
Yeah.
malaria.
And then went on to have a very successful
Illustrious career.
Mm.
And I do think...
And do we need to explain to the 5150 who Michael
Well,
Caine
we
is?
should explain who he is a little bit, because he's an icon, one of the great English actors of his generation.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2018 now. He's probably going to be on an episode of Who's Dead this week.
Well,
soon.
he won't. He's not far away from Who's Dead this week.
Mm.
He's 84.
Mm.
Still acting, still doing heaps of stuff. Still,
Well, he's just released a new book.
still very active. But you know, like, what's inspirational about Michael Caine? Well, many things, but one, he sort of did it all on his own. He didn't have any contacts or links to the sort of film industry. He's been a sort of a leading man and a character actor. He's won a couple of Oscars. He and you know, one of those few actors that sort of transition from being a leading man to sort of, you know, sort of playing these sort of characters and grand old men, you know, and do it successfully and well for another 30 years. Which, you know, once you're a leading man and you're not a leading man,
Drop off the radar.
you're not. You are no longer in movies.
Yeah, with the exception of Clint Eastwood in that one about get off my
Get
lawn.
off my lawn.
Yeah.
Well, no, Clint Eastwood is certainly an exception, but also Paul Newman. But I think that also another kind of great aspect is that he's had these big career slumps where he's done terrible, shitty films over and over again, and then bounced back with an awesome film just as when you thought, well, that's the end of Michael Caine. So super inspirational. He's written one amazing book and one not quite as good book. The first book, What's It All About?
That's the one that I read.
Is an amazing sort of tale of his life. And the second one is
They call those autobiographies.
and I think the second one is called The Elephant in the Room, I think. But it's not as good because it rehashes quite a few stories and doesn't really, you know, like the second half of his life when he's a rich actor is less interesting than when he's a struggling guy trying to make it and people are telling him that he's fucking shit. And people on his first film are like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, oh shit, that was a character choice. I thought it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So I highly recommend that book. I highly recommend watching Michael Caine in anything because he's pretty amazing, regardless of what it is. One thing that is very distinctive is most of the time he doesn't bother doing an accent. So he's got a Michael Caine accent in almost everything he does.
Yeah.
And he does talk about this. He's also got a great book on acting. But he basically said, he's like, well, why don't I do, you know, because he has done accents quite successfully in some of his films. But he's like, well, why don't I normally do that? And he's like, because when you're acting, you also have to do an accent, 50% of your acting is used up concentrating on the accent and not the actual performance itself. Because you're always kind of thinking about that accent and trying to get it, and it means that it takes away from what you're doing on screen for the rest of the time apart from that accent, which I thought was a pretty interesting point and valid.
Another thing that's interesting about him is that he didn't do any formal training for his acting, right? He just got into it.
He kind of just started doing theatre.
Which is like what? It's like us. It's like Pigville. We've had no formal training on acting. He just got into it.
And I'm sure, like, to your point, he was this huge inspiration for us because he didn't make it till he was 33.
Yeah.
Which is what you said.
Yeah. So, which is one of the things I said now. I said, they go, well, have you got any message for Michael? And I go, oh, yeah, g'day, Michael. You know, you're a big inspiration. I really enjoy hearing about how you kind of didn't get your big break until you were about 33. And that was always a big motivation for me as an aspiring actor to know that, you know, there's still time. I'm 35 now and I still haven't made it, as something like that. And then they go, can you do your best Michael Caine accent? And I was like, fuck. Like, I can't even do accents, let alone with no prep whatsoever.
Let's not diminish your Frodo Baggins.
Oh, Sam, you're a true friend. I think you're right, Sam.
So don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. No, I am very, very good at that. And so anyway, I had to do this with no prep. They just go, "Can you do a Michael Caine?" And then so I just had to do it. And so it's going to be pretty cringy when it plays on either the 21st or 28th of October. But I'll post something about it on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley, when I know about it. Hopefully it'll be online and I can just share it. But I had to go, "My name is Michael Caine, but you probably already know that," or something like that. I can't remember.
I think it's.
But you already know that.
I think it's not a lot of people know that.
Oh well, who knows what the fuck I said. But she's gonna. She was really happy anyway because I was one of the only people that knew who he was and actually knew like a decent amount of stuff about him, and so she was really happy about that. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'd say you're pretty likely to make it into the edit." And I'm going to do a montage of people not knowing him, and she goes, "And when I interview him, I'm going to play him your clip." So Michael Caine is going to be seeing Harley Neville.
Fucking disgusting.
Classic Nevs.
Here's me, a man that idolizes this man, worshipped this man, dreamt of working with him, having him in my movie, you know, like gave you the fucking book.
You gave me the book
that got you interested in Michael Caine. I gave you, I was like, "Hey man, you should really read this book. It's really inspirational and Michael Caine is really amazing." And you're like, "Who?"
I was like,
"Fucking who?"
I hate old movies.
I don't watch any movies past 10 years ago, mate. But I guess I'll read a little bit of this fucking book. Fucking cunt.
This very shitty impersonation of me. It's like some rugby head.
fucking bullshit. Was basically your response, but you didn't read it. And then you're like, "Hey, this Michael Caine's a cool dude." Yeah. So anyway, and then of course the one time, because you know what? He's not going to be around forever.
No.
And judging by my career trajectory at this point, it's quite likely to assume that he's not going to be in one of my movies.
No. Yeah, the trajectory of your career has already spurted upwards, and now it's just gently, plopping down. It's splatting down onto your inner thigh. That's it.
And the curvature of
it's already past the peak.
The
peak was a $250,000 NZ Film Commission film.
The curvature of the career trajectory.
It's all tissues for you from now on for your career.
It's just a mess. It's just a mess at this stage. It's just a mess that no one wants to clean up.
No.
So anyway, all of this, and I could just have one message. I could send one message. I could tell him how much he meant to me. I could tell him all this stuff. But I fucking can't because Harley does.
Yeah, I get to tell him. So, yeah, good.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's just a classic. It's that Nev's luck. But it's not. You see, it's that Nev's luck. But it's not. It's me going out of my way to go and find out what the person with the camera's up to. And then going, this could be an opportunity. I'm going to seize it. Seize the day. Carpe diem. To quote.
Carpe diem.
Quote. I don't know. Caligula or whoever said that.
Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society.
I think it's a little older than Robin Williams. I think it's been around since,
Yeah, of course. But, that's what popularized it.
Right. Well, no, I think you'd argue that he was just referencing a very well-known and popular historic thing from, Roman times or Greek times or something. But I'm sure Robin Williams has something to do with it.
Dead Poets Society. I Captain. Stand up on your desk. I Captain. What else?
Well.
Check my notes.
Well, I did last week get that dazed and confused quote backwards, which really pissed me off. I listened to the episode again.
You really hated yourself for a while after that.
Well, I'd been building up. This was as bad as when you crashed into the Dominoes door.
I don't think it was, but okay.
I was just feeling down about that for days because, I had that excellent dazed and confused quote about the women on Bumble. Yeah. And then I just idiotically delivered it backwards for some reason. So it was meant to be referring to the women I date on Bumble, not that I've gone on any dates with any of them, but that I'm matching with on Bumble. What is it? It goes, that's what I love about these Bumble girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age. But of course, I did it the other way around so that I go, they get older and I stay the same age. It made no fucking sense. So, ruined that joke for myself.
So, you thought you'd recap it in case, for all the people that didn't
get it.
Well, for all the people that didn't notice, which was probably a lot.
Yeah. Most people who didn't give a shit the first time round.
Yeah, now you've singled yourself out as an idiot.
Mm.
So, that's cool.
It's all part of the show.
I should also give a quick shout out. So, someone messaged me online a while ago on LinkedIn of all fucking places, which to me is the kiss of death. If you're messaging me on LinkedIn, I've really got no time for you.
Well, why? What's your issue with LinkedIn?
I just hate LinkedIn.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I don't really know what it is, but it does seem quite like the type of thing that would be really good to use.
Well,
if you
I was
were, good at it.
I did once write a Facebook status. I was like, LinkedIn, what a fucking joke. And people were like, I've got like my last 4 jobs from there. Yeah. And I was like, okay, maybe I've been doing this LinkedIn wrong. Yeah.
Well, for me, it was no good because I was like, well, I'm an actor and a producer type, so I was like, what's it even good for? But I think it'd be really good for freelance style work. So now that I'm more doing a bit more of that stuff, I think it might be a good idea to get on LinkedIn. I'm on there, but actually tidy it up.
So someone messaged me about the zombie film, and I was not sure whether they were just a nut, because a lot of nuts just message us about these sort of things. We attract some weird nuts. Fucking people.
We attract nuts sometimes. Hello to all the nuts out there listening.
Hello to all the fucking nuts out there. Shout out to my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, hi-oh. Now there's like all of them. All of the ex-girlfriends are out there. They're like, is he fucking talking about me?
Well, there's probably only one listening, and that's the nut.
Right.
Sponsor of the podcast. Still sponsoring the podcast.
Yeah, she probably is still.
Still sponsoring the podcast. So thank you very much. This podcast is proudly brought to you by my psycho ex-girlfriend. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, we need your current girlfriend to pay for the next year worth of podcast.
It's only fair. It's only right.
Fair. It's a rite of passage for guys' girlfriends.
That's right.
To pay for a year worth of hosting. It's
yeah.
What is it? I think it's $20 a month. I think roughly.
So shout out to her. Shout out to my new girlfriend doing a bid in Australia, doing time in Aussie. She's stuck over there at the moment, trying to work her way back to this beautiful country. So shout out to TT. So.
Now sorry, are you finished your?
Yeah, no, I'm not. So anyway, we got a message from this guy, and I was like, is he crazy? I don't know. Well, finally I got around to messaging him back and replying to him, and I was like, hey man, so what do you need? Like, what is this thing about? He's like, oh, I'm doing a book about zombies and about zombie films. And, you as an esteemed zombie filmmaker, I'd like to feature your movie in my book. And I was like, this sounds fucking crazy, but okay. Turns out he's not crazy.
Well, he's not. Because last time I spoke to you, you were worried
the jury was out.
Yeah.
But turns out he's not. He seems like a really nice guy.
Yep.
Shout out to Jay. I'm sure he's not listening, but seems like a really nice dude. And also he sort of did the commentary for a very famous, he did the audio commentary for a very famous zombie film, talking about it because he knows so much about it because he's like the zombie specialist. He's got a bunch of posters from Zombie Holocaust, the original, which he showed me.
Yeah. Well, how do you get those?
Well, because he's such a zombie enthusiast, and he's got all these
Kiwi?
connections. No.
So the original Zombie Holocaust theatre posters.
Yeah.
I know that we gave some of those away, and people took them. Well, I remember after the premiere stuff, someone was like, "Can I take that poster?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?"
No, I'm not talking about our posters.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought you were saying.
I'm talking about the
Zombie
original Zombie Holocaust film.
Zombie Holocaust, as opposed to the schlocky, watery knockoff. I survived a Zombie Holocaust.
As opposed to that cheap ripoff.
Okay, so he doesn't have a Zombie Holocaust poster. No, I survived a Zombie Holocaust poster.
No, he has a Zombie Holocaust poster.
The
Italian film, which we stole the name of.
Yeah.
And anyway, we're going to be featured in his new book. I Survived a Zombie Holocaust is going to be featured in his new book. I shared some anecdotes from the set.
Does he want to get in touch with the Nevs? Because I've got a great athlete's dick joke that I can make.
Yeah, I did not entertain that idea. But I did send him through some material.
Yeah.
And he also watched No Caller ID and wrote a lovely little write-up about that.
Did that write-up go somewhere public?
I don't know.
Or is it just a nice little email for you?
Oh, no, I think he sent it as it was going to be part of a blurb that he was going to do as part of his thing.
It's part of the book.
And he's also sent the film the zombie film that is, to one of his contacts in the United States at a festival.
Yeah.
That we may, who knows, be featured in.
Yeah.
So
that'd be nice.
Anyway, anecdotes
Hopefully we can send him the fucking good New Zealand Australian.
Well, that's what I said. I said, look, I said a few things. I said, hey,
watch the definitive version.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, look, there's two versions. Watch the good one. Because he was like, is there any interesting anecdotes? I was like, yes, there's a million. But it's been 5 years longer, so I'm and I got PTSD from that film. So, some of the things I've forgotten, but here's a couple. There's two versions of the film. We had to reshoot the most difficult scene twice. I've worked with the lead actor and actress since I was 16. They were in one of my first films. And all of those things is what I said. Can you think of any other interesting anecdotes yourself? Just off the top of your head right now.
Me?
Yeah, that's not related to athlete's dick.
Not related. Not related to athlete's dick. Well, my go-to is always when I almost got my eyeball blown out of my head on the day one of the shoot, which would have really ruined my career. And, I got a big cannonball bloody pipe rocket. What do you call those fucking pipe rockets?
Potato cannon.
Yeah, potato cannon. I feel there's another name, but yeah, like a potato cannon full of tomatoes shot into my face at point blank range and punched me in the eyeball, and it was day one of the shoot. So if something had gone wrong with my eye, I could have A, been very seriously hurt, and B, I would have just been recast. It was day one.
No, we would have wrote it in, mate.
Would have wrote it in. Well, no, but not if I've I've got to go to hospital because my eyeball has been smashed in and I need to have some serious medical fucking assistance.
Chuck an eye patch on him, mate.
Chuck an eye patch on him.
You're good to go.
But yeah, I don't know. I'd need to think about it some more.
Oh well, no, that's a good one. I didn't bother telling that one. Took too long.
Yeah.
But yeah. Harley's eye was almost removed.
Yeah. It's part of the zombie film.
Yeah.
Well, good. Hopefully that opens a door for us somewhere and looks pretty legit. And if people want to watch No Caller ID, don't forget you can do it on TVNZ on demand if you're in New Zealand. Now, I was filming something a little while ago. I showed up to work. I was told what I was filming, that I was filming Nigel Latta. Now, Nigel Latta is a left-wing, I think he's left-wing. Is he
right?
So Nigel Latta is a documentary maker, a New Zealand documentary maker, and he's he does lots of very kind of wholesome content. He does some stuff about I think gangs or prison or stuff like that as well, and I'm pretty sure he's a lefty, but politically, on the political spectrum. I could be wrong. Anyway, he's a harmless enough dude. He's like a psychologist and a documentary maker. And so I showed up at this event, and when I got there, security was super tight. And there was protesters outside of the speaking event from this psychologist and documentary maker. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? It turned out, though, it wasn't Nigel Latta. It was Nigel Farage, a.k.a. Mr. Brexit, the racist, ignorant, wannabe Trump of England. And I was filming him. And they actually told me not. They said, "Oh, don't bother filming it. It's just for the big screen, so it's more like I'm just kind of projecting on the big screen behind him."
Right.
But I secretly filmed it anyway. I don't know. I just thought maybe I could be a political martyr and to leak it on the internet or something like that.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, I'll just get my boss in a fuckload of trouble, and myself, and I don't care that much. So I didn't. I opted not to do that.
Decided not to be a political martyr.
yeah. Because I could have filmed as I could have put all these quotes from his show on the internet. And so anyway, the audience was sort of what you would expect. They were mostly white, which I'm sure is just a coincidence. And I would describe them as a sort of an unhealthy mix of racist uncles and aspiring school shooters. And it was really, and this rich old guy gets up on stage, and he was like attacking the physical appearance of his rivals, and he was making generalizations about millennials needing safe spaces, and it had all the calling cards of a person pandering, an intelligent person pandering to the lowest common denominator. And he knew that, if he made lowbrow slurs against his enemies, that the mugs in the audience would lap it up because they're idiots. They're easy to manipulate as long as you tell them what they want to believe. So what were you going to say there?
What I was going to say is it sounds a lot like a podcast.
Yeah. What? A couple of idiots getting up there, lowest common denominator.
Appealing to the lowest common denominator. We have talked about safe spaces before.
Yeah. Safe space is very important, people. I am pro safe space.
Fuck off with those safe spaces.
I'm pro safe space. Our society has advanced to a point where we no longer need to storm up beaches on D-Day, with Germans shooting at us. We no longer need to do that.
Attacking the physical appearance of your rivals. Shall I harken back to your remarks about the poetry lady that looked like an old granny who was like 20?
Well, all I said was that she looked like an old lady. She was 20. I still see her face around every now and then in poetry circles. She the one that heckled me once and clicked me off stage.
Re-listen to that podcast if you want to hear someone attacking someone's appearance. But yeah. So we're ticking all the boxes of fucking Nigel Farage at this stage.
Anyway, the whole thing was very pathetic, and I'm proud to say that there was more protesters outside on the streets than attendees inside. And this guy's like a full-on, he spoke at Trump rallies and stuff like that. So he's like a full-on Trump guy, and he's the guy who is responsible for Britain leaving the EU, which affects you and me because
affects me.
We both have British passports, which means that we no longer can go and work in like Germany and shit like that. As part of the EU, because of this imbecile, this fucking rich idiot.
Ripple effect too. Girlfriend passports.
Yeah, because we like dating hot foreign chicks.
It's what it's all about at the end of the day.
So you've got to get the visa situation sorted. Now, I was sad to see these ignorant idiots do walk among us in New Zealand, but more concerning than that, though, is the fact that they are obviously politically active and are willing to pay hundreds of dollars to attend an event like this. And that scares me because the Nazi Party started off as a small group of ignorant assholes manipulated by an evil genius in a democratic society. So you never know. It might take off. So that was my adventure with Nigel Farage.
Well. Why I'm a filmmaker.
Oh, we already covered that last week.
What have I got?
Nothing. We're all out of notes. We're all out of notes, and the beer's almost finished, and guys got to go Ubering. So, unless you got something...
Not interesting enough to really segue into.
All right. Well, look.
I will say that Harrow web series.
Well, that was important actually. Yeah.
I just sat in with Ben Fowler. Shout out to Ben Fowler on the sort of locking off the cut of the long short film version of Harrow, the director's cut. The as it was intended cut, the feeling a lot better about it cut. So we've just finished that, and we're gonna hopefully, all going well, start submitting it to film festivals and see if any of them will take a 24-minute and 37-second short film.
Yeah, which sadly, I don't think there'll be that many. I feel like some will, maybe some some sort of smaller festivals maybe might take it. But I don't know. It's a tough sell. I guess we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I don't know. Don't know if we'll get many. I did ask somebody. I asked if somebody who works at a successful film festival, and I said, "Well, it's 20 nearly 25 minutes long," and her face kind of said it all when I said that. She wasn't like, oh, okay, maybe that could fit in somewhere. She was like, ooh, because it's kind of at that awkward stage where it's a long short, but it's a short long. And what that means is it's hard to squeeze into. Like if you've got a 2-minute film and you want to get into festivals, most festivals can squeeze you into their rundown, with no too much drama. But a 25-minute film is hard to fit in, so it's got to be like really awesome.
Yeah, well it is, so we don't need to worry.
Oh, good, sweet,
sorted.
But
maybe we should have another premiere for that.
For
Harrow.
Yeah.
Like a re-premiere and go, hey guys.
Well, we didn't really have a proper premiere in the first place.
Well, it was like, hey guys, I know that you were filled with overwhelming sadness the last time we had a premiere, but I think you won't be this time.
What, like with the cast and crew, you mean?
Yes.
Oh.
I know you were filmed with a sense of overwhelming sadness and dread when you watched this last
disappointment.
time. And bitter disappointment. But I really think that you won't feel like that this time.
I got a strange spam email. It goes like this. It goes, hey man, it's your boy, Brian Burke, your personal expert on how to get head from women. I want to tell you about the first step of 3 to get more head than a 1980s rock star. If you check out my video here if you want to blah blah blah. So I grew up with a guy named Devin. He was a master of something called framing. Most women are very good at framing, but Devin was better.
What the fuck?
He used this trick to make women think that his dick was like a trophy, a gift that she had to earn. So when he wanted head, the girls felt honored to do it. Now, this guy was overweight. Not fat, but he had a belly, like me. And he wasn't good looking. But he understood deep female sexual psychology. He was what you might call a natural. Years later, I finally cracked the code that he intuitively knew when I discovered how framing works. It's all about the meaning behind the act of oral sex. In other words, how the girl thinks about going down on you. I've tested and perfected a system that uses framing, but also 2 other key components to literally make any woman addicted to sucking you off because she sees it as her reward. I break this down more in the video. Click here. So if you like me and you love getting mouth hugs from women, you got to check it out. Go subscribe. Blah blah blah. Signed, Brian, the mouth hug magnate. Burke.
Did you click on the video?
No, I didn't click on the video, but admittedly, curiosity got the better of me. I started thinking about all those blowjobs.
Yeah.
Curiosity did get the better of me. And so I Googled this Brian Burke to see what would come up. And I did find a YouTube video. But it is spam because what it is it's like a video of him standing there talking. But he's not saying anything. It's kind of like that email. He's kind of saying a bunch of things which sounds like he's saying something, but he's not actually telling you any practical tips or secrets. He's just talking. He's saying like, this is how it happens. And then chicks want this and blah, 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 blah. But he's not actually saying like, and here's a practical tip and here's what framing actually is. But of course to get the real tips and all that, you've got to click on the link below, which leads to some sort of like package that he's put together of like how to get blowjobs, like a step-by-step guide type thing that you've got to pay for.
Yeah.
But presumably if you bothered to click on it and pay for it, if you got anything, you would get like, I assume maybe a PDF of bullshit, is my guess.
Or maybe a helpful PDF.
Maybe a helpful PDF. Maybe. It did seem pretty like misogynistic and gross though, to be honest. Like he was like yeah, like women will want to do it, even women that are not normally into it, and like all of these types of things. It was kind of like pretty gross, pretty scummy.
Well, yes, obviously that email is scummy.
Yeah,
but it's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Sent to me, the target demographic, I guess.
Target demo.
Lonely man in his 30s.
A guy who's getting 0 BJs.
Yeah. Yeah, the
straight to the source.
the online
We've crunched the data. We've done some analysis, and we have, from all our calculations, from the amount of time that you spend online watching porn, from the amount of time that you spend online watching porn featuring blowjobs, from the amount of time that you spend in your room definitely not going anywhere for our GPS tracking, we have deduced that you are a very lonely single guy in his mid-30s who would jump at this opportunity to receive some blowjob info because you're a sad, desperate, pathetic man, and we think that we can exploit you.
Well, yeah, that is the situation. And this might come as a bit of a shock to the listeners, but in terms of tangible results, the translation rate from online celebrity to real-life blowjob is disparagingly low. You know, like the ratio is absolutely out of whack. Like online, right, I'm a solid 10 out of 10. All right, maybe I'm a 9 out of 10. But in reality, when you meet me at the closest bar to my house for a date, I am a bald 35-year-old man on the short side of average with the hairiest back you've ever seen. I have the dubious honour of being the hairiest of the 5150. And if anyone cares to challenge my throne for that, by the way, feel free to send us in your pictures.
You won't. You have no chance.
You have no chance. But if you want to, just send in through your pictures of your hairiness, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. And this is not an open invitation to send in your dick pics. Jason Coombs.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, so in real life, I'm like a 6.5, and you know it just doesn't translate from this online celebrity to real life sort of attention.
Real life dates.
Yeah, I don't really call them dates. I call them relationship auditions. And on that note,
that's as good a place as any to
wrap
the fucking out of here.
But thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, please follow us, hit like, give us a nice 5-star review on iTunes if that's where you listen. We are on Spotify now as well, so you can go along there and find us and hit the little plus sign. We'll pop up in your news feed somewhere or however the fuck it works. If you'd like to pledge to us, you can do so. That keeps the show alive and helps us get things like mic arms and stuff. So go patreon.com/Pigville. Otherwise,
also the Dominoes situation.
The Dominoes situation.
Let's not forget the Dominoes situation. You want to talk about a sword of Damocles hanging over my head?
Yeah, the sword of Dominoes.
The sword of Dominoes, fucking hanging over my head because I don't know when that call's going to come.
Yeah,
that call is going to come. It's either going to come from my insurance company, being like, "Hey, someone's coming. They made a claim and give me $1,000," or it's going to come from Dominoes themselves, going, "Hey, we just fixed this door and it cost $1,000 plus." But one day in the near future, probably just when I've let my guard down and I've been like, "Hey, maybe they just used their insurance and I'm all sweet, I'm all good." And I spent that $1,000 that I was meant to save. Just probably that very day that I did that is the day when they will message me. Yeah.
Well, there's also Buy Me a Coffee. Go buymeacoffee.com and search for Harley Neville. I don't think you search Pigville. I think you search Harley Neville and you can make a one-off donation there if you'd like. And I promise to give it to Guy. If you say it's for Guy's Dominoes, sort of Dominoes fund.
Dominoes situation.
Sort of Dominoes. That might be the name of the episode.
It has to be.
The Sort of Dominoes.
The Sort of Dominoes.
I did also like whatever the hell I just finished on before, which I can't remember now. That was quite a good final line. Anyway.
Well, what was the subject of that email?
I don't know what the subject was, but it just goes, your boy Brian Burke.
Oh, I thought I saw the subject of it.
It
said some like BJ tips.
Oh, maybe it did.
That could be one.
Yeah. BJ tip number 1.
Be the prize.
Be the prize. That's the name of that could be the name of the episode as well. I like the Sort of Dominoes though. It's a little more intelligent.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, cool. So anyway, we are going, but thank you very much for watching, and please tune in and find us on facebook.com/Guy and Harley, and we will see you next episode.
See you later.
And for the for the Twitch streamers, we are still here. Just save that. Okay, now we got 0 comments from the Twitch streamers for that entire thing, and there was 5 of them there the whole time, so that was disappointing, guys. We needed some listener topics, we needed some feedback. Anu and whoever else might be there. Who is there? You creepy pervs just lurking and watching. This is the after show. This is the post-coital snuggling. That's what this is. That's what this segment is. So it's not part of the podcast. So sound off, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Takes a while. It's delayed.
Well, that's true.
That's good. That's good. It's cool.
Here we go.
In between the long speech about Nigel.
Yeah, we did. We called the audience idiots in between the long speech about Nigel. Well,
to be fair, that was a bit of humour.
Yeah.
That was just a joke.
Yeah. We love the 5150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to understand that's tongue in cheek.
Yeah. That's tongue in butt. Cheek. Should probably write that down. Tongue and butt cheek. It's quite funny. I have started writing, by the way. People will be happy to hear from last week that I have started writing a new stand-up comedy routine. Very tongue in butt cheek.
He's written that down. That's become part of it.
So I did actually write a new poetry thing, a new bloody stand-up comedy thing last week, mostly today and over the last few days, as per your suggestion, Guy.
Yep.
Which was inspired last week by that vagina in a can monologue, and it's all coming together. And what I'm turning it into is I'm combining it with some other monologues I've done about Bumble and Tinder, and walking like the swiping right with reckless abandon with my dick, and walking like the yellow pages man, and all that type of stuff. I like it. Like Bumble and Tinder being a lingerie catalog that I'm very unrealistically flicking through and going, oh yes, oh I'll take that one.
I'll
please.
have that one.
Oh
thanks.
yes, please. Oh, one of those. Oh, a couple of those. Yep. And I've only got my settings. I've set my settings very tight. The radius is only women aged 18 to 80 within 300 kilometers of me. That's
good stuff.
That's all
good
it is.
Stuff. Good stuff. High standards.
Yeah. I'm willing to drive. New Zealand has a lot of beautiful landscape. Okay, a lot of beautiful scenery. I'm willing to drive.
Some free stand-up preview right there.
300 kilometers for a blowjob. Not bad.
What was that? BJ.
Be the prize. Be the prize.
Be the prize.
BJ tip number 1. Be the prize.
Alrighty. Well, I got to go take a piss.
Yep. All right. Well, I've got to go to bed because I've got work early in the morning. But thanks for listening, guys. And tune in and hit follow, and we'll see you next time.